Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your July reading. So I meditated on your energy and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about this month. The first cards that came out, I have the Five of Wands and the Fool. Now those two together are funny, but they're not funny, but the Fool is that leap of faith and trust and all of that. Five of Wands is all sorts of counter arguments, inner voices or outer voices, wills being mixing with one another and preventing a forward movement. Mini chaos there. Five of Wands. So there's disruption inside of you or outside of you that prevents you from doing that leap of faith into something. And here, after that, I have the Hangman and the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands has that similar energy to the Fool in a sense that he's not doing like a leap of faith per se. He just has total faith in his will, in what he wants, and he wants to have it. That is his major obsessive thought. He doesn't think about the past, the consequences, or whatever. It is more that I trust that this is it and I'm going for it. With the Hangman, that says, well, there's a little stop and I want you to analyze that. That's what the Hangman says. Look at that impulsion that you have, that leap of faith that you want to do. Look at it from a different angle. Wait a little bit and look at it from a different angle. What is preventing you to actually make that decision consciously and actually going forward for it? What is the conflict? What is your fear? Now, for some of you, Scorpio, your fear about jumping into this new venture blindly or just by following your fire there is because of this. I have the King of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, Three of Swords. King of Pentacles is the side of us that is able to make money, find solutions, manage things so that it is fruitful, solid, reliable, and all of that. Well, that aspect in your life probably brought you grief and disappointments and just that feeling of loss and things like that. Now, that is why when it comes to jumping into that new thing, new cycle that is in the beginning of the month here or last month, you're a bit closed about it. Four of Pentacles. You're keeping your energy. You're like, not sure I want to jump in there. I had some bad experience in this, I'm not so certain. But under the Hangman, there's Temperance. Here, what the Hangman will do, that little pause you're going to take during the month to look at this from a completely different angle, is part of you being able to gain that bigger picture where you're going to see exactly how the puzzle fits. There's a healing in there that is happening also. Temperance has a part of healing through understanding the bigger picture of things. Under your King of Pentacles with the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords, there's the Four of Swords. So that bigger picture understanding will actually bring you the healing, bring you that Ace of Swords that will explain how these things arrived. Did you rely on people that only brought you grief and disappointment? Were your own inner masculine not supporting you and letting things crumble or whatever, whether it is within you or outside of you? Here is a non-efficient King of Pentacles. So that's why you maybe have cold feet here into jumping into that thing. But under this, I have justice. So that truth, that understanding that needs to come in. Here, this is the energy of rebalancing things through the understanding. Bringing justice into a situation maybe that was conflicted. That were many people wanting to be involved in that. And that, had that potential of being another disaster. Under this, I have the Eight of Wands, that is movement forward, and here I have the Queen of Swords. So whatever makes you have cold feet, let's say, in the beginning of the month, where you don't dare really invest in yourself because you want to see clearly into what is happening, not to be disappointed and hurt like you were in the past. With the Queen of Swords here, this is a question of, am I going to see things clearly, or see things from my own point of view of my own wounds, old disappointments and wounds? Are these my glasses? Or do I have glasses of a healed perspective and seeing the truth, protecting my heart, because I will not fall for any bullshit? So let's clarify this for you, Scorpio. Little birds outside. Yeah, okay. Scorpio. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. About Scorpio. Scorpio for the month of July. Let's clarify this. Okay. Five of Wands and the Fool, Spirit. Why is the Five of Wands and the Fool here for Scorpio at the beginning of the month or end of last month? Six of Wands and the Four of Swords. Our Four of Swords here. That's a question. Six of Wands. See, from the 5 to the 6, there's one missing, and it would be here. I'm trusting myself. I'm following my fire. I'm going for it. Six of Wands. My ego is balanced. I don't have to prove myself. I don't underestimate myself either. There's a recognition, but and an acknowledgement. But the first acknowledgement has to be for ourselves, towards ourselves. Then we can be acknowledged from the people around us. If we don't acknowledge ourselves, how can people outside of us acknowledge ourselves? Acknowledge us. So, the Five of Wands here, that means it's a question of that. It's a question of recognizing yourself. And through that, it's you're going to recognize yourself in a way that you are going to understand how things did not work in the past. By understanding that and by seeing the bigger picture, it's like gaining back the trust in your own will and your own capacity and all of that. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Let's see. There we go. The Hangman and the Knight of Wands. It's because there needs to be the end of that cycle so you can grab that wand. And not grab it softly here. No, grab it on your horse and going for it. The Hangman is there until you truly finish the cycle. And if you have inner conflict or even outer conflict, what is happening outside will be mirrored outside. If you have friends, co-workers, family members that disagree with you, that disagree with your project, that all these counter arguments bring doubt in you, preventing you from doing that leap of faith. It's because you haven't finished that cycle where you don't acknowledge yourself and wait for the acknowledge of outside, maybe, so that you can follow your own gut. And why not? But anyway, by finishing that cycle, and here you see that guy, he has the laurel crown that is around the world, around his head and around the stick that he's holding. His willpower is victorious because he has learned and understood his past cycle. Because he has healed it. Four of Swords again. Okay, now let's look at that King of Pentacle with the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords. For some of you, you need to heal from a King of Pentacle. That's a husband, that's a masculine that would have been supposed to be there for the long run and support, provide, be there for you. And that brought you grief and sorrow, either because of their actions or inactions. Maybe they disappeared, maybe something. And it's like you need to heal from that masculine, whether it was inside of you or outside of you, in order for you to truly finish that cycle. So let's look at this. Nine of Pentacle, Eight of Cups. So that tells me that this Eight of Cups, it's like that understanding that, yes, I have to go on that quest and be myself totally independent. I have to rely on myself. Of course, that there's always a little danger with the Nine of Pentacles of relying too much on ourselves. But it's that principle of independence, of being able to stand by oneself and be financially and on every level capable of standing on our own. And it is by readjusting your own King of Pentacles. She's standing on her own because her masculine and her feminine are balanced within her. So she has creativity and all of that, and she has the ideas and the ways and the will to actually do them, find solutions and work and do all of that. Here it's almost like the acknowledgement, the understanding that you have to do that in order to be fulfilled, because if not, you are not satisfied. It's like, I need to achieve myself, I need to enhance my accomplishments, kind of thing. Four of Pentacles, that there's a bit of fear. It's almost like a fear because of a lack of acknowledgement of your own value, and like a balanced ego. Having an ego is important. It's the mechanism to survive in this world. You cannot, often you hear these things where you have to eliminate your ego. Of course not. The ego is that gauge, that balance between your animalistic side that reacts and that is in its fears and things like that, and your higher self that is connected with the light and all of that. But we live in a material world, in a body. So of course there needs to be a sense of preservation and a sense of survival, a certain programming that needs to happen, and it is managing that. Managing that is the Strength card. That is the most balanced way. You are in your higher self, but you charm and you inspire your ego to serve you instead of working against you. So, Four of Pentacles, that's when we're afraid to lose. We're afraid to fail. We're afraid to lose. And that is, for some of you, going to be what is going to prevent you from doing that leap of faith into maybe a project, an idea, or something that you have. Here I have the Page of Sword with the Five of Sword. You're going to get the understanding of what is holding you back. See, the Four of Pentacles is holding himself back. Here, Five of Sword, this is when our mind or our beliefs is actually defeating other parts of us. Or this could happen also outside of you, when people have certain arguments that completely leave you with no ways of defense there. So here, understanding that, understanding the source of your fear, or that what has been creating conflict within you. And that's why here, when you have Justice, Justice has a sword in her hand, holds that truth, that understanding that you're grasping here at the end of the month of June or beginning of July, depending. Here, what is Temperance for Scorpios? What is Temperance for Scorpios? Scorpio. All right, Two of Swords. You have to make a decision. Eight of Pentacles. A decision on... See, this guy... I don't know if we see it in this depiction, but in the background of the Eight of Pentacles, you see a city in the far back. And he's there on the bench, working and being concentrated on what he's doing. He's not partying with the people in town. No, he's retracting himself to focus on what he's doing, and actually that's why he actually can see results of his efforts. When you're going to see the big picture and all of that, it is going to be a decision within to let that conflict, inner conflict, insecurity still inhabit you, or actually go and invest into yourself. And I think Libra had that kind of questioning also. And what you is kind of, you know, holding you back, it's probably failures and disappointments in the past, of course. But you know that here, from 8 to 9, if you do concentrate and if you do invest into yourselves, you are going to get that independence, that security. Show me the Four of Swords. How do we heal past disappointments and sorrows? There it is. Queen of Wands. And the Sun. All right. This is very wandsy, very fiery. We heal our disappointments and things like that when we actually understand how they happen. Not as a victim point of view, but how we danced in that process. A result always comes from a dynamic, from two elements coming together and creating a result, a third element. If not, it's just a constance. There's no surprise there. So we dance with life, with our mirrors, with our decisions and things like that. When you understand the whole dynamic, the whole picture of it, when you see the truth of it, then it explains the result. Then you're not a victim anymore, but you're a participant in the result. Therefore, you have the power to actually change the outcome. Here is, I am grabbing my power of my will. Queen of Wands. and the sun, gaining back that self-confidence and that magnetism into going for what I want, what I desire, what I want to go for. Actually attracting it. There's sunflowers in both these cards because it is that this is my goal and my face will follow my goal like the face of the sunflower follows the sun. I will not look at my losses and my fears like this and make my decisions from there. No. You see? Justice. Chariot. Because justice wants to bring Six of Pentacles, justice. They both have scales because one is that balance in the giving and receiving. So we have now Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles. The balance into the give and take and the joy of life, that kind of rising. Instead of looking at 3 cups on the floor and not seeing the beautiful things in life, this is like my cups. I am bringing them back up, rising my emotions, rising my vibration, celebrating and playing with life. And so I can start receiving and giving and not being in lack, in fear, in conflict within myself. Justice so that I can start receiving the fruits of my efforts without having to sacrifice and without receiving from sacrifice either. Chariot is real movement forward in life and in spiritual understanding also. Now, Eight of Wands, that tells me that this is movement forward that's going to happen. You're going to see things happening. As soon as you are going to be aligned inside, then things are going to start being, they're going to start happening. King of Cups, that's you. And the Knight of Swords. King of Cups. My old emotions and my things like that, I am mastered of it. I don't act out of my wounds and things like that. The King of Cups acts from emotional wisdom, emotional stability, and all of that. With the Knight of Swords, that one truth, not two truths, but that one truth, I am going forward with it and acting upon it. Queen of Cups, King of Cups, that beautiful balance inside of you, of your masculine and your feminine, of how what you perceive, what you allow, and how you act out there. There's that healing happening here, that understanding. Because from the acknowledgement of your worth and your value and the decision to rise to the occasion here. Queen of Swords. Queen of Pentacle with our Five of Wands. See, I was talking about recognition of your rebalancing of your ego, not underestimating yourself, but actually understanding the lessons, healing, so that you can trust yourself again, trust your judgment, having that balanced ego. Here, the Five of Wands, see that conflict came with your Queen of Pentacles. Not knowing your worth, not knowing that you are enough, you have enough to accomplish whatever you want. And when we don't know that we are enough, it's very hard to manage things and to give ourselves that independence in our value and our worth. So here, now with the Queen of Swords, you're going to see clearly your worth, your value, your capacity. The Queen of Pentacles, she can feed 20 people with what she has in her hands. She can accomplish whatever she wants with what she has. And she's at the gate of abundance. So If she wants more, she will allow more to come in. She is not a struggling lady here. So now you're going to readjust your inner Queen of Pentacles. And you're going to readjust your inner Queen of Swords, because you will not see and perceive reality from your wounds, your disappointments, and things like that, creating therefore a conflict within you. But you're going to see from wisdom and clarity and from a healed place, giving you back the fire to move forward, to actually make that leap of faith, because you're going to trust yourself into the accomplishment of this. So I should call this leap of faith, because, or no, it's trusting yourself, because you've healed. So trusting yourself. All right? Okay, Scorpio, you can do that. Whatever you feel, if you are in that state here of how am I going to manage things, how am I going to do, I'm feeling all conflicted inside, I don't know my next step or whatever, there's this beautiful, let's finish the old cycle, let's understand how these things came so I can gain my inner trust, aim for the sky, and actually attract it and make it come in. All right? So, on this, Scorpio, I'm going to send you all my love and light. Thank you so much for subscribing, helping the channel grow. All your comments, I read them, and I love you so much. If you want a private reading, the description is below. Share the video if you think it will help somebody. Don't hesitate to watch it again at the end of the month to have another perspective on it. And thank you for the ones of you that gave donations. It helps more than you think. And on the big new moon, full moon, I do a little ceremony to ask the universe to give you back. Apart from that, yes, I said for private readings, description is written below. My heart to all of you that are dealing with this crazy pandemic, with everything that is happening. May good sense and enlightenment and justice come to this matrix. And on this, again, all my love and light. And I'll see you next month. All right?